Hey guys, Augiesaint here and welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and let's talk about the first Descendants interview we have recently had with the devs. There's quite a long post here. I'm going to cover it with you guys in this video. I will have it linked down below in the description, so you just want to skim through and read the stuff as you see fit. Go ahead and check the link out. But without further ado, let's just hop straight into this, as there's a lot of juice in here about like the future of the game, what they plan on doing with like seasonal content and the amount of daily content, what they plan on doing with cheaters, how many Descendants there's going to be, end game modes, all kinds of stuff is going to be covered in the interview. So let's hop on into it. Okay, we're going to skip through this and we're going to skim through it. Like I said, if you guys want to follow it all down, check the link in the description. So could you briefly explain the long-term service plan, roadmap, and milestones in content focused manner? And then they responded, there will be a new content. So there'll be new content that will be updated in the 5th week, so on August 1st after the launch, and the pre-season will last for about 8 weeks after launch. In the 9th week, season 1 will be updated. So on the 9th week, we're going to assume that is when season 1 will begin, and about 3 months after that, season 2 will be updated. So season 2 will obviously come out then about 3 months after. So you must know that they already really have season 1 and 2 ready to push out. So the only time we're going to see real big changes to stuff that may be bad, like how to resource farm things, or just some kind of a big change, will probably be around season 3. The seasons will be updated every 3 months, and each season will add new successors, which I mean that's the Descendants. It's just, this is just all translated from Korean. So there will be new Descendants, Ultimate Descendant, successor stories, so Descendant stories, intercept battles, dungeons, skins, weapons, modules, and bosses. That's quite a lot of stuff they have to do every season. If they plan on bringing out, I would say at least just having at least one Descendant and, you know, a bunch of stuff each season would be good enough for me. But obviously we will have to see how much we actually get per season. Obviously the seasons are going to be 3 months. That's not too long, but then again, it's also not really too quick. So I think it's a good pace over there. Hacks are the biggest problem for looter shooters and shooting games. Please explain how you plan to prevent hacks, such as with anti-cheat programs. So there they will use the Nexon anti-cheat, easy anti-cheat in the final technical test, but we couldn't do it due to lack of time. If the user suspects hacking or unfair play, will be carefully managed and monitored. So they're going to be adding a Nexon easy anti-cheat, so that will be a part in the game. That's good to know. What types of quests have been added in the official release version? The launch version includes quests exclusively for successors, so again, Descendants. First, we'll include the story of Bunny, and we'll continue to reinforce one person each updated season. So every season it seems like we'll get like an updated storyline for each Descendant. The successor story is a story that takes place in the Descendants' own timeline, separate from the main story and covering the successor's narrative behind the scenes story. So every season it seems like we'll be getting like a story quest for one of the Descendants. And then how much daily or weekly content is there? Are you preparing for a community function? The battle pass contains daily challenges, weekly challenges, and seasonal challenges. First, I want to test that level is appropriate in their preseason. It is a grinding game. The characters I want to collect are different and the weapons are different, but I don't want to do the daily weekly challenge homework. I want to farm first, but I don't want to do my homework first. So we are striking a balance so that the time required can be reduced and users can focus on what they want to farm. That's really good to hear. Regarding the community, we are preparing a clan update and is scheduled to be updated within the first year. Okay, so there is clans being confirmed for the first year. Pretty interesting to see that as well. When you look at the end content video, it is divided into a score system and a time-based round system. Due to the nature of the game, you have no choice but to focus on grinding things, content that takes less time, but I wonder if there's dividing the reward systems to prevent this. Ultimately, because it is a grinding game, I focused on how to increase reward farming efficiently. As your score increases, the probability of obtaining the desired reward increases, and the number of difficult dungeons increases. The round chain infiltration operation is designed to increase the user's performance, increase the time it takes to overcome a round, and reduce the time to increase reward farming efficiency, and encourages users to challenge for the higher rounds. The goal is to continue challenging through this kind of growth until the final round. So just increasing the difficulty, so adding modifiers to the missions, is going to be the best way to then farm, because you will get rewarded better for actually completing those faster. I'm concerned that the new end content, the laser evasion gimmick using the hook, may cause fatigue. The part you play this time in the latter half of the dungeon in the normal version, which is the story progression stage. When you clear it and play it in hard mode, there's not many platforming sections, but the hunting density increases. We are preparing so that you can grind faster if you have the ability, even if there are many monsters. So it seems like there was a platforming thing in the first part of the mission, and the hard mode version is not going to include it by the sounds of this. I'm quite understanding this. The translation is a little bit bad over there, so it seems like it'll be focused more on just, you know, killing monsters and racking up a score. Let's move on down. You're emphasizing grinding, but what is the probability of the ultimate weapons and modules appearing in end content? And how long do you think it will take to farm one successor for each season? In the case of acquisition probability, the probability of obtaining major items is displayed in the entrance screen on the hard dungeons. So when you go in, there's like a little, it shows you the drop chance they have. Additionally, there is an option to increase the kill score, and by adjusting this, the probability of item acquisition increases. So it gets more hard, but you get more drop chance. Directed Jew, if you already have a max level character, farming a new successor is possible in about 10 to 15 hours. Since it is a game about collecting rather than going deep into growth, there's a lot of farming to do and to collect and combine the necessary items. Among 19 types of successors, so 19 different Descendants on launch, 22 different types of ultimate weapons, and 560 different modules. In particular, modules can be purchased I'm guessing they meant to say farmed, within a day if you find a farming location for the desired module. In the case of character farming, the time can be further reduced if you do it repeatedly. It's about 10 to 15 hours to farm a new Descendant if you have a fully functioning maxed out Descendant, to then obviously go ahead and efficiently farm that Descendant through the missions. Ultimate Descendants can use dedicated modules, so there seems to be different in balancing from the regular successors. Is there a reason to create a separate ultimate character? Bunny is very popular among the users. We prepared the ultimate because he thought that people would expect advanced characters with more special appearances, performance, and strategies for their favorite characters. However, since he does not want to play only ultimate, his performance is not much better than that of the basic character. Instead, it was designed to provide enough value for fans to spend enough time farming it. I do not think the dedicated modules are superior to existing modules. Ultimate is taking a direction with the goal of providing more strategic options. So basically what they're trying to say over there is the ultimate versions of the Descendants does not necessarily make them the better version. It's more of like an aesthetic thing. Obviously the stats are slightly increased, and better stats is better stats. I mean 1% is 1%, but that's just really for the min-maxes. It's not just the clear-cut better version, like for example the Prime Warframes in Warframe. Once you get the Prime version of the normal Warframe, you just put the old Warframe, like you eat it, you destroy it, you put it into your helmet, because the Prime version is just better. There's no two questions about it. So this is, I guess, what he's trying to point out over there, that the ultimate version is not like the only clear-cut way of playing that frame, I guess. So I have to see more of that in the future. I'm curious to see how many types of skill modification modules there are for each skill. There are 4 skill modification modules per character. There are also modules that change just one skill or all 4 skills. Ultimate characters can use 4 modification modules from regular characters, and the 2 ultimate specific modification modules are added for a total of 6 modules. So normal characters can use 4 different ones. Obviously we have 4 different skills, so each module will affect one of those skills or all of the skills combined together. And then the ultimate versions get 2 specific ones to them, which can then further change how the skills work. After the game is released, overbalance issues may arise. I'm curious as to what form of adjustment you'll take. We keep an eye on is which characters and combinations cause overbalance. First of all, we'll try to ensure that there is no overbalance that cannot be overcome, even with other updates as much as possible. We plan to continue module rework and skill rework to change the balance within each season update. And for the characters that structurally need balance reinforcement, we plan to release new modules to make up for their shortcomings. So it seems like they seem to be wanting to rather buff characters and push up other characters by giving them mods and stuff to compensate for their shortcoming, aka like being weak in certain areas. So hopefully there'll be more buffing than nerfing as to keep a balance into the game. Recent users tend to be sensitive to download adjustments. I think there will be a lot of complaints if we go with the method of nerfing, where there's an overbalanced successor. I'm curious about the balance adjustment policy in detail. Okay, so there's just more on that same topic. I don't know how to do it in real life because it's something I haven't experienced yet, but I think it should be done if necessary. After all, when a character is upgraded and the content goes down, so I think there's a limit to how much you can raise the rest. If it's an inevitable situation, I think it's necessary to be bold. However, I think the process of persuading users through transparent disclosure and objective explanation is necessary when changing the balance. So basically, if there is a character that's like super overperforming, it is within the better, like the future of the game. It's better for it overall if that character is nerfed, but explaining that in like a very open and transparent way with the audience, because nobody likes their favorite character to be nerfed, obviously without like seeing a real big point as to why it's happening. So that's good over there, that I like that they're saying that. Among user opinions, we could see the opinion that some costumes are inconsistent with the worldview, atmosphere, and setting. What do you think about this opinion? And I am curious whether costumes will be added in this direction in the future. There are games that strictly adhere to worldview and make all assets, including skins, to strictly match the worldview, but we differ from that line. Personally, I think our goal is a live service game, so we need to make it accessible to many people. This is why the platforms was expanded to PS4 and Xbox One's appearances such as Doll Mask will continue to be released in the future. So you'll have like these funny skins. There's a panda skin there, a dinosaur skin, and you'll have all these funny skins going forward. So that's pretty interesting there. I don't think that's my cup of tea, but I know a lot of people do enjoy dressing up like that. Are there any plans to add large-scale updates or content similar to paid expansion packs to the first Descendants? We received many questions about whether there will be paid DLC, but there won't be. Since we're aiming for free-to-play, we made it clear from the beginning that they won't be selling content access for a fee. So no downloadable or like no paid content. It's going to be all for free, which is really good. Are you preparing core business module and packaging for launch? The preview build was provided before the interview, but there's almost no difference between the release build and the BM. It has a simple structure in which the paint random draw. Okay, I think this is something to do with the paint, so let's go a little bit further there. How was the hair dye, which was pointed out the most during the last technical test, changed specifically? Only definitive individual paint items exist. The method itself is skin specific, just like the technical test. You can continue to use it for that one skin. So they did remove the randomness to getting the different colors for your skins, which is really good because that seems like it was going to be pretty annoying. So now it is just you got to get the right one, or you got to purchase, it seems, there with like a credit over there. What is the capacity and specifications for the first Descendant at time of release? Okay, so 40 gig of course, and they can increase slightly with an update. And the optimization is the same as it was before. All right, last question. It's ranked 5th on the Steam wishlist and receiving a lot of attention worldwide. What are your expectations and what kind of game do you want users to experience after its release? Of course, I hope it becomes a huge hit. It's a game that requires a lot of food for the development team and the company. I hope it does well. There are many games that immediately shrink when they are released. So my goal is a game that actually receives a lot of love. Okay, that's good to hear because I plan on playing the hell out of First Descendants. But there we go. That seems to be the end of the interview there. Covered quite a few good questions. Biggest thing to take from it is that they will be adding balancing. Like they'll try and not nerf everything. They'll try and keep everything balanced, as well as no paid DLC. And for me, a big thing is I actually do enjoy seasons. I think a lot of games could actually benefit from like a season type playstyle. I'm looking at you, Borderlands, and stuff like that. Maybe the Division. I think Division might have seasons now, but I just really like the idea of seasons. It's like a nice little fresh start, and bringing in a new character each season is pretty cool. So I like that idea. Let me know what you guys think of this interview down below in the comments, and if you guys are excited for the first Descendants, and then most of all, what Descendant do you guys plan on maining? I represent all the bunny mains out there. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, please drop a like and a sub to the channel. Helps me out so much, and I'll catch you beautiful people in the next one. Augiesaint out.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying